Welcome to another episode of my construction videos. What I do on this channel is to make a video on construction knowledge and construction content, which will be beneficial to civil engineers, quantity surveyor, architect, and every other person involved in the construction work. My video are also helpful to upcoming engineers and clients who might need a knowledge, who are seeking for knowledge in order to do their prospective project. So if you are a client out there and you are looking for construction knowledge to prepare yourself for your next project, this is the best channel you can be. So in today's video, in my last video, I did a rate computation of block, how we come about the rate in BOQ when we are preparing BOQ, or maybe how we come about the rate use, because there was a particular video I was doing and I used 7650 or so, and I know people will be asking, how do I get that rate? Now, there's a way we compute the rate. So I've done for block work in my last video. This video is on concrete, how we get the rate we use for concrete. If you check your bill of quantity, you see 110, 100, 130, and so on. But the price of material is increasing every day. So if you are still banking on my friend did it for last year, no, it will not work, because every day the price of material is changing, and as it is changing, we are updating our BOQ. Also, at the end of the video, if you find the video interesting, you can subscribe to my channel and click on the notification button so that you'll be one of the first to be notified whenever I upload something useful. So you can also give me a like and share the video. Now join me in this video and let's begin. We'll be starting from the note I have here. Now from the note we'll move to Excel. So Excel spreadsheet, which you are going to use to prepare the rate, and you are going to see how we do that. So I said the video is on concrete rate computation in BOQ. So how to prepare a rate for concrete, how we get the rate we use for our concrete work. That is how we get the rate we use for our concrete work. So in this video, I will take you through some notes and do the calculation in Excel spreadsheet. Now, the content of this video, I'm going to talk on quantification, material needed for concreting, mix ratio in concreting, and calculation using as a spreadsheet, just like I've said. Now, quantification. A concrete is always calculated in meter cube. You can read the note I have here. So it is always calculated in meter cube. That's your length multiplied by breadth multiplied by depth of what you want to do. So anywhere we are doing concrete, it is always calculated in meter cube. In meter cube. Looking at this diagram I have here, so this height is 150. The width is 150 and the length is 750 mm. So when you multiply that together, you're going to have this value in meter cube. In meter, it is in millimeter cube rather, and in meter cube, it is this. And for this as well, the height is taken to be 0.2 meters, the length is 3.6, and the width is 2.5 meters. So you're going to have your value in meter cube, 1.8 meter cube, and the value in millimeter cube is this. So depending on what you're using, you can convert to feet, cubic feet, cubic inch. So depending on what you are using, but from this part of the world, what we are used to is meter cube, millimeter cube, and sometimes centimeter cube. So that's about the quantification. You do your quantification in volume. You multiply the length, the breadth, and the depth for the height. So material needed in concreting. The materials we need for our concrete job. Number one, we need the cement, the sharp sand. Concrete is a combination of a binder, that is cement, the fine aggregate, the sharp sand, and the coarse aggregate, which is the granite, which are mixed in a definite proportion. I just gave you the definition of what a concrete is. So you need the cement, the sharp sand, the granite, water, which is going to mix this mixture together. You need a labor that is going to do the work, and you need an admixture, which is optional. So admixture is optional. You can have it and you might decide not to have it, depending on the function of the concrete and what you want it to achieve or do. So these are the material we need in concreting. So the next one is the mix ratio. Mix ratio is just a way of proportioning our concrete constituent, our concrete ingredient, the ingredient that made up the concrete, which is cement, sand, and granite, how we how we mix it in a definite proportion to get what we want is what we tag as mix ratio. So if you look at this table here, you see different mix ratio that I brought out. That is 148, which is grade 7.5, and at the end of 28 days after your curing, this should give you 7.5 Newton per millimeter square. And this we target as mixed concrete. Most of the time we don't use it except in a place where the concrete does not have much load coming on it. You have 136 also. This also a weak concrete. 124 is where the main concrete start from. 124, 1.5, 3, 112, 1 is 0.75, 1.5, and every other mixed ratio you might think of. So from 1 to 4 that here are the most used. However, some people use this, or are the most used, and other design mixed ratio. So this is all the mixed ratio, and this trend is telling you that after when you cure it, that is when you cure it, we have different form of curing. You can soak in water, you can cover with a membrane that will not allow it to lose water very fast, and every other form of curing. So after that, after when you take it to the lab for crushing, after 28 days, it's going to give you this strength that is 25 Newton per millimeter square. So that is that about that. So that is that about mix ratio. The next thing we want to talk about is the calculation, how to get the amount of cement, sand, and granite we need for the different mix ratio. Now, if you are watching from YouTube, you can check the video up here. So in this video, I've done calculation how you are going to need the number of cement, sand, and granite you are going to need for a particular mix ratio. So I did for 1 meter cube, I did for 10 meter cube. I even did for 1 bag of cement in case the work you are doing is not up to a meter cube. So maybe you want to do for 1 bag, 2 bag, 3 bag, 4 bags, you can do that. So if you check the video up here, you will see it. I've done the calculation to get any material you need for any mix ratio of concrete. Now, if you also want to get the water you need for your concreting, there's a ratio, there's a formula we use to get the water we need for concrete. So we will not have much water in the concrete, which might cause bleeding, or little water in the concrete, which might cause segregation and some other things. So you can check this video right here. So in this video, I've done a video on how to get the number of water you need for your concrete. So I will not be doing the calculation of how I come about the cement, sand, and granite in this video. So I will just have this, and from here you can watch the video to get how I did it. And from here we'll move to the Excel spreadsheet and do the computation for concrete weight. Now let's go to Excel spreadsheet and do the computation for concrete. So this is from my last video, so I can just copy this and let me just copy it and change some parameter in it. I'll copy this and have it down here. So let me change this title to concrete rate computation. So I'll just change to concrete rate computation. So this will be in meter cube. We don't calculate in for, okay, let's say from 1 meter cube here. Let me join cube insert. So for 1 meter cube, let me just insert that. I think this is too wide. Okay, for 1 meter cube of concrete. Okay, using what mix ratio? Using let's say, let me do for 1 to 4, which is common. Using 1 to 4. So concrete computation, concrete weight computation for 1 meter cube of concrete using mix ratio of 1 to 4. So now, what are the materials we need for our concrete to work? The number one material we need, I can decide to remove all this so it won't interfere with what we are doing here. So it will interfere with what you are doing. So material, what are the material I need for my concrete job? I need the cement. I need the sharp sand. Okay, I need my sharp sand. I need my granite. I need water. I need mixture, which is optional. I need labor. We are doing for 1 meter cube of concrete using 124. So the first question we ask is, how many bags of cement do we need for 1 meter cube of concrete using the mix ratio of 124? So I'll go back to my note. So the ratio we want to use is 124, right? 124. So how many bags of cement do we need for 124? Mix ratio of 124 for 1 meter cube. If you look at the top here, you see 1 meter cube. So 124. So we need 6.4 bags of cement. Now I need 6.4 bags of cement. 6.4 bags. So I can just come here and input 6.4. 6.4. So it is in bag, 6.4 bags, and the rate of cement now is 10,000 naira. 10,000 naira. Okay, the rate of cement is 10,000 naira. When you compute this together, let me use my formula. What I want to do is this multiply by this. I'm going to have this amount. Okay. So this multiplied by this, I'm going to have 64,000, which is the sum I need for my the cost of buying the cement, which is the cost of buying the cement. Do I need to remove it? I'll just leave this so it won't interfere with what I'm doing here. Let me remove it for now. When I'm done, I will come up with another one. So we need 64,000 naira for cement. What quantity of sharp sand do we need for 1 meter cube of concrete using the mix ratio of 124? For 1 meter cube using the mix ratio of 124, we have 705 kilogram of sharp sand. So if I convert this to tonnage, because we buy in tonnage here, we don't buy in kilogram or meter cube here. So in tonnage, that is 0.705. So 0.705 ton. So I can just come and input my 0.705 and this in ton, right? So what's the rate of a tonnage of sharp sand? What's the rate? So the rate for my hand here is 240. So I'm going to be using 240. So if for 30 ton is 240, if I can get 30 ton for 240, that is how much will I get a ton, which is divided by 30, which is going to be 8,000. 8,000. Yes, I'm going to get it for 8,000 per ton. So if I multiply that with the quantity I need for this mix ratio, that is going to cost me 5640. Now for a mix ratio of 1 meter, for a mix ratio of 124, and the volume is 1 meter cube, what quantity of granite do I need? Go back to my note. Now the quantity of granite I need for this is 1.410 tonnage. This is in kilogram, but I've converted the tonnage. That is 1.41 tonnage. That is 1.41 ton. Still buying in ton. So now what's the cost of a 30 ton of granite? A 30 ton of granite, what's the cost of granite? A 30 ton of granite, I can get it for 580,000. 580,000. That is divided by 30 to get a tonnage. Now a tonnage is 19,333. So let's say 19,350, right? Let's say 19,350. 19,350. 19,350 is what I would need to get a ton of granite. Now, if I bring this down, so this will be the total cost of getting granite. Now, water. Let me assume that we are going to buy water, and I won't estimate for water. I won't estimate for admixture as well. I won't estimate for admission because admission is optional. And let me say the area you are working, there is water, there is surplus of water. So I will not estimate for this and I will not estimate for this. Now, labor. How many cubic meter are we doing? Now, what's the cost of getting a labor for this job? Now, let's say for 1 cubic meter, 1 meter cube. So, and here I have so for 1 meter cube, let's say I'm going to get my rate for 1 meter cube is 10,000 naira. 10,000 naira. So if it is 10,000 naira, I'm going to have this. So these are the costs of what I'm going to spend for 1 meter of concrete using this mix ratio. Let me compute this. Let me bring this data together. So let me use my formula and do this summation. So meaning the ratio, the what's it again? Now meaning the rate for my concrete is 106,923. That is the rate for a 1 meter cube of 124 concrete mix ratio. So that's how to get the rate. And don't forget, in my last video I said this might work for me here, it might not work for you. Probably you can get a labor that will do it for 8,000 naira per meter cube. 8,000 naira per meter cube. You can get for 4,000 naira. You can get for 6,000 naira per meter cube, depending on what you have. So the rate is going to differ, and this is depend on location. Probably in my location I can get for 10,000 naira per meter cube, and my granite maybe I can get for 18,000 naira per ton. Everything here will reduce. Maybe my cement I can get for 8,000 naira per ton. Everything will reduce. Are you seeing it now? But presently I can get cement for this cost. So this is it. So this is how to compute the rate for concrete. Now, this is 1 to 4. Now let me just copy this and quickly do for another higher mix ratio or lower one. Either of anyone I can just pick. Okay, let me start from it. Let me paste this. Let me just go to the note and just pick any one. Okay, I did for this. Now let me do for 112. Right, let me do for 112. Quickly do for 112. So for 112, just okay, got me. Okay, for 112, just like I have it, how many bag of cement will I need for a 112 mix ratio of 1 meter cube? So I'm going to need 11 bags of cement. So I just come here and input 11 bags. So 11. So my rate will change if I'm still buying at this rate. So for my sharp sand, how many ton do I need? I need 617 kilogram. That is 0.617 ton. 0.617. I'm going to get the rate there. For granite at this same ratio, I'm going to get 1.234. 1.234. 1.234. So I'm going to get this rate. That means to say my labor I'll get for 10,000 naira, or yes, let me say I'll get for 10,000 naira, right? So this rate has changed to 148. So the higher the mix ratio, the higher the cost of the concrete rate. So this is 148 for 112, and for 124 is 106. So this is how to come about the rate of computation. And if you are using mix, you can also go for smaller mix ratio and every other thing you want to do. So this is how to calculate the rate for concrete work. So I hope I've been able to make justice to how to compute for concrete and how to compute for block rate, which I did in my last video. So if you found the video interesting, you can subscribe to the channel, give me a like and share the video. See you in my next video.